Unfortunately, it has been long and no one responded. I said, "Oh God, no one among them should have slept." I reached the peak of despair. I threw the phone next to me and started crying for a while. The phone shook like this. I uploaded it along with a message from my son. She sent me a shocked emoji and wrote to me, "What's wrong with you, girl?" I couldn't, out of fear, respond to her even with a voice, but I wrote to her, "Come with me quickly." She said to me, "Okay, I'll see the girls now and we'll go out to you." My son went and told her friends. They told her, "Okay, you're okay." "I know you," she said to them. "Listen." She took out the phone and played the voice message. Arej was right. They were shocked. They said, "Now this is how we can get to her." Sarah looked at her friend, Raf, like that, and she said, "We don't know what to say to you, but let's go. Let's get ourselves and go out." They actually read the remembrances and exorcisms, and they started to go to the third floor. Arej says, "While we were walking in Al-Sib, the lighting is okay, but there is a lot of commotion in the entrance to the right of the room. Some of the bulbs there are broken and a little dark. This is the entrance. This is what made them crazy. They say as long as I am in Al-Sib, I keep repeating, 'What is the chair?' on my tongue, and Sarah was on my left and Rahaf on my right. Why were we so close?" Just a little while later, she started screaming and throwing her phone and drinking. Rahaf came to follow her. I caught her at all times. I told her to keep your heart strong, remember God, and walk. Let us go and see what happened to Arej. She said, "Okay, Sarah. So why did she throw her phone and scream? She must have seen something." She said, "Calm down. I am more afraid than you. But let's go." We see Arej what happened to her, and they actually said hello and continued on their way and reached the room. They opened the door and turned on the lights. They found Arej under the blanket, collapsing from crying. They said to her, "Girl, what's wrong with you? Peace be upon you. What happened to Arej?" She did not say a word. Najla said to Rahaf, "Go, let me put her under the room." They actually took her into the room and put her down. After she calmed everything down, they said to her, "Tell us, Arej, what happened?" Arej says, "Because of the strength of the shock, I am not even able to re-describe the thing that I caught. After they put pressure on me, I informed them of everything that happened to me. She said to me, 'Daughter of,' believe me, because I was tired, and at the same time it meant taking a nap. He might have been preparing for me. I was completely mentally strong when I caught the thing." They were a little afraid. Then they said to me, "Okay, describe it to me." I honestly don't know how to describe it to you, but the feeling of the hand is like the hand of a big old man. It was once cold, and as if it had sores on it, it was dry, and when I got down on my hand like this, a little bit, the fingers were long, and their nails were once long. They turned back and turned to Sarah and said to her, "When you screamed again and threw the phone away and ran away, what exactly did you see?" She said, "Girls, did you see when we got close to the wrap? The great thing is that I saw one black head that turned out like this, and then came back straight away and said, 'Arej, I'm done with this situation that happened. And after what I heard from Sarah, I swore to God, the third floor. This is what I do unless they find me someone to live with me, of course. That's it.' There were about 2 or 3 weeks left until the end of the semester, and in fact, after 3 weeks, the semester was over and everything was over, and thank God, my friends graduated with a good grade. Then my father traveled and came and took me to the residence, and we went down to the monastery. She says, while we were on the way, I informed my father of all the situations that happened to me in the residence. She says, it is the 7th impossible for my father to believe what he believes in these things. He started telling me later, look, it's possible. Maybe what you're saying is true, but you see, maybe he was thinking of you. It's not real. My father, no, and I don't know what. He sat trying to convince him that he would believe that it's impossible. The important thing is that we arrived home and I greeted my mother and she made her happy. I spent the vacation between the 2 semesters with them, and one time I was happy.
but after I spent the vacation.
When we were going back in the car, with my father, he took me back to the house. I was sitting all the time thinking. He put my hand on this and that cheek and my head on the gloves, and I was thinking. My father was talking to me, and I was like this. This girl was with me. She said, I understood later. He was so happy, and I felt that something was worrying you. You said, I can't help but think about my father, frankly. I told him about housing, and I don't know what. So I said to him, I wonder if I have been thinking about the future and exams ever since, and I am carrying worries. He said to me, no, my daughter, do not worry about it, God willing. You graduate and achieve your dreams, and from the motivational words you say, in fact, I am a liar. I did not know about the future, but I am thinking about when I return home. Then I will live with whom do the girls say? It's okay. I felt that I made you feel uncomfortable. They want privacy and such, so there is no point in attacking them. At the same time, if I were to die, there would be no point. I went to the third floor, so I took out my phone from my pocket and said, let me talk to Naira. Perhaps with the beginning of the new semester, there will be new students and such. God willing, you will find someone for me to live with me. She says, I am still writing like this. You wrote to me. We found a female student who will live with you. I swear to God, I was flying with joy. Moody changed 180 degrees. Of course, as you know, the administrators arrive a week before the female students to arrange their affairs and so on. For me, it was between her and Arej, as you heard at the beginning of the story. The first one did not find a student, I caught her, but oh joy, it did not happen. Look what happened. This exact time something happened to her in the residence. I swear to God, something made her head say, thank God, we arrived safely. My father dropped me off at the door of the residence, and I said goodbye to him and he left. At first, when I found out that there was a woman living with me, I was once filled with joy. The level of joy that I was in lowered my level of fear a little, so was able to go out to my room on the third floor, happy and tidy it, clean it, and perfume it, because when this new roommate who came to live with me, I was happy and did not want her, she felt an ounce of fear to the point. And I swear I remember asking for a new mattress from the girls, just because I made the bed for her, so she wanted her to feel like she was in a 5-star hotel. After I had done all this, I went up to Munira and asked her. I told her, when is this new student coming? Because at that time I want to go downstairs to the girls and say hello to them like that. And I don't want a student to come while I am not there. Because Munira also said to me that there is only one copy of the key, and the one you have, please. A student. Don't come while you're not there. So I said, no, it's okay. As long as she's like this, we're waiting for her. And in fact, I'm lying on the bed and sitting on my phone. I've been ringing for 2 hours like this, except for the door of the room knocking. I got up, pure of joy, and went to open the door, except for this one standing at the door. At first, I asked her in the first place. If she is the new student and no one is wrong, she said to her, you are the new student. She said to me, yes, I am. And she said subconsciously. All along, I hugged her and took her things off and went in. And she said, God bless you. You say, I am happy, and I am sitting around talking to her and welcoming her. And like that, the girl did not interact with me. Her situation was strange. So I said, come on. One day I was in her place and there was a new student. He might be ashamed. The first day, the second day, the third day. The girl also says I can't stand it. One with a large chest and cheerful, and she takes away the worries of studying and the pressures of studying from me. One psychological one says, Munira said to me, okay, I swear I will not make you regret every word you said to her. She said, I don't understand. What do you mean? She said to me, listen to this girl. They had an accident. 4 years ago, her mother and father died, and she remained the only one alive, and God wrote a life for her. After her mother and father died, the girl's psychological state was very bad. For all the years she spent, she lived in her uncle's house, and by the way, her uncle was the one who brought her and gave her all her papers.
And once, Arej, I am saddened by old and tired men, and also poor people. He was sitting looking after this girl, and she said, I swear to God, I am great.
Munira was sitting talking to me while my tears were down 4 by 4. I couldn't open my mouth with a word. She said. I wiped away my tears and said to her, Yes, I'm with you on the line. I'm done. She says, Arej. Her uncle said to me, 1 letter is enough for me. My daughter, consider her like your daughter. I told him, My uncle, who are you? This eye before this one does not take them away. By God, Arej, the rest is up to you. I do not recommend you to the girl. By the way, Arej, you see that the girl is from the northern region, so she needs time to adapt to the situation here. So appreciate the situation a little, because you know that all these circumstances affect her psyche a little. And the first time she gets drunk, you can't imagine the amount of remorse I felt at that time. I regretted every bad word I said about her, and every bad thought I had about her all along. I opened the door and hugged her, and I sat crying. She said that she even cried with me, as if she felt that I knew what had gone before. What's important is that, and after that day, I are like that at university. Our relationship has become very, very strong. Of course, I have no sisters or brothers. My mother and father are alone. You cannot imagine the feeling of love towards this girl, and she also gave me the same feeling of love, but her condition is a little more difficult because she has lost her mother and father to a degree. I will share food and drink with her, clothes, even money. Sometimes my father transfers me money, 1,000 reals, for example, 500 for her and 500 for me. Sometimes he also transfers me 500, 250 for her, and 250 for me, like that. Anything I share with her, I would love to see how she changed Arej. Of course, Arej, says the girl, is indescribable. If you say beauty, if you say morals, if you say religion, if you say complete generosity and complete devotion, she was not like Noura, who lived with her for the first time. The important thing is that my presence with her in the room had a direct impact on me, as she often advised me, and she would even wake me up to pray on time. And like that, I am fine. I have become like her, and what a beautiful life I have. By God, I have lived with her. The important thing is that the days have counted like this, and it happened on weekend. And I usually go down to the girls every weekend and try to change the atmosphere and so on. And this time she says, I talked to Nada to come with me, meaning to introduce her to the girls and like this and at the same time. I want to leave her alone at night because, as you know, I have a situation in the room and I do not want it to be repeated with her. The important thing is that I spoke to her, and everything she said to me, okay, I don't have a problem. On the contrary, I was honored. We went downstairs to the girls and talked, and I introduced them to her, and one time the girls were happy with her. They already knew her because I spoke to them on WhatsApp, but they did not see her. The important thing is that they were happy with her once, but the Son of God guides her. She went out and took out the Bluetooth headset, wanting to play songs. She did not know that Nada was engaged once, and she actually played the songs, and they started dancing with her and the girls. At that time, I was sitting looking at Nada's face. Nada's face was once clearly upside down. She was annoyed and approached when she said to me, Listen, Arej, I'm going out of the room. I said to her, Why is it still a full moon? I mean, it's a weekend like that. She said, No, but I'm sleeping and I want to go out. She says, I told her, okay, just a little bit of that and we'll all go out together. She says, I'm not crazy. I'll let her go out alone. The important thing is that she sat for a while. He sat waiting for me, except for the girls, give her a little more time. Nada got up and said, I ask your permission, girls. Good opportunity. She went out and came. I was following her. Rahaf caught me and said to me, Where are you going? I said to her, Girl, how about you? Do you want her to go out alone? She said, We prepared a movie for us and brought popcorn and partying and many things, meaning don't miss the night, so I said to her, Okay. I didn't say anything, but let me drive her and come to you. And she actually spoke to Najli and she said to her, "I'm afraid you're cheating on me, but we'll drop her off so we can go out together." Najla said, "Okay, I don't have a problem. Come on." She says the day we caught up with her, she was walking in Seb, right on the second floor, and when we arrived, she ran like this. She looked at us and said, "What are you doing?" So we said to her, "No, but we forgot the charger on the side of the mobile phone, so we took it and went downstairs." Indeed, we reached the room and entered, and when I saw her, she lay down on her bed. That's it. I'm here. My heart is at peace, and I am happy. When we got it, I was happy. I want a charger. I'm a liar. I don't want a charger. But so that you don't misunderstand me, I turned off the lights, locked the door, and my son and I went downstairs and went to continue the evening. We stayed up and were happy and had everything. It was about an hour and a half ago, and she went to her room to get the snacks and popcorn and these things. Rahaf, Sarah, and I arranged the room. She didn't come. We put the brushes under and put the laptop in the middle so we could watch the movie. Of course, the laptop's battery was blown out, so we used the cord right there and plugged it into the direct cable. His son came and she brought the coffee, and we sat next to each other, warmed up, turned it off, and sat watching. And the situation was very Only a few minutes later, and the laptop turned off the power. Because of the power of darkness, you cannot see your hand. We took the cell phones and turned on the flashlights. She said, "That's all that matters to me." But when I remembered Nada alone upstairs, I feel nothing happened to her. She said, "I was crying like a child. I remembered the situation that happened to me in the first place. I was so strong that I didn't care about Nada, and I was sitting thinking about her. This feeling of fear in me had subsided, so I didn't care about whatever was meeting me on my way. I turned on my phone's flashlight and said, "I'm going to go out." The girls said, "No, it's impossible for you to go," while I was sitting crying like that. I knocked on the door and came out saying they didn't leave me alone. Everyone took out their phone. They turned on the flashlights and followed me. We were walking in the dark like this and turned on the flashlights. We were holding each other like this to feel a sense of security. She hugged each other and sat, walking and walking and walking until we reached the third floor. She said, "Here it started. Fear increases. The important thing is that we were walking. Suddenly we heard a cry due to the power of fear. We hugged each other and sat crying. Of course, Sarah, Rahaf, and Najel said, 'We will not continue. You want my soul.' You said, 'No, girls.' And it is forbidden, that is, we have arrived, and the scream, I swear to God, was Nada's scream. And in fact, the source of the sound was coming from room number 112, which is their room. They are now in Seb. Where exactly were they located? About a meter before entering the room. They started walking quickly. She said, 'How strong are we? We are not afraid.' We hugged each other like this. We were sitting like this, stepping on each other's legs like this. Our legs got dirty and we didn't feel it. We arrived at the door of the room and we were dying of fear. I swear to God I held the door like this and warmed up until we got a dew on the bed. She said, 'I uncovered this and that on my bed.' I said, 'Oh Lord, have you moved?' The bed was also a little empty, like this. We heard a sound like such and such, sitting moving, but we don't know where the sound was coming from exactly. One of the girls saw the bathroom door and turned away. She knocked on me and told me, 'Arej, look.' I turned around and actually found the bathroom door turned away. No, and the source of the sound was also coming out of the bathroom. The closer we get to the bathroom door, the sound gets louder. The closer we get, the louder it gets. I found the hand broom with which I first cleaned the room placed on the wall. I took it and cleaned the door with the broomstick, and as soon as the door opened, it was...